Welcome to Why We Play. This is the official gaming podcast from the Fandom Foundry. I'm one of your hosts, Todd Oxtra, and where did my background go? I don't know, but that's okay. You get to see the real Todd's lair. It's kind of messy right now. My son is moving out, but all my cool stuff is way back there. I've got a really long space. So,
Todd, this is breaking news. This is incredible. I've never seen this.
Oh, you've never seen it before?
Now you're all zoomed in. This is awkward.
I'll zoom back out. There you go.
Look at all that stuff in that display case. Look at this. This is amazing.
Well, yeah, I can give you a tour really quick. So we've got my 4 IKEA display cases. Tell you, if you collect these glass cases,
those are those are IKEA. Okay,
I love them to pieces. This the other cabinet that's kind of burgundy. That's from Korea when I was stationed there for a year. So I bought some furniture, Korean furniture, ridiculously heavy.
I think I remember you told me about shipping it over. I remember that. Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy. And then I'm trying to sell a X arcade stick, the tank stick. So I'm gonna put that up for sale, because I already built my arcade system, and maybe if I show you this, you can see, wow, this is really like of course, so if you look over, maybe there, there you go. So that's my real arcade system, my X arcade, tank stick VR, whatever. It's got a little thing. And then there's my Joker picture stand.
You think you're missing a picture up there? You're missing one
you know, I'm working on yours, Dan. I'm working on yours. I haven't been able to find a good screenshot. But yeah, so that's it. And I've got my LG C1 right there behind me to the left, and you can see my cat.
Very nice. We've got the same. I've got the same. You said my C1, right? Yeah.
C1, yep. My soundbar hangs underneath it, and I got all my consoles actually behind the wall. So
wow,
it's kind of nice the way it works out.
Fancy.
Yeah. So that is it. Oh, and I see that right there. It's a table I built. It's all out of crates. It's stained and glassed up. So there you go. It's inside. Look, and there's so many cat toys you wouldn't even believe it, Dan. But and then my dog doesn't even come down here, so it's really weird. But yeah. So I am joined by the guy I haven't even introduced yet, but Mr. Daniel Walenchik.
Oh God, Todd, you had it right. You had it right in the pre-show.
Trying to make it a Polish name.
Why are you doing the chick? Where is the chick coming from?
It's Polish, right?
If you just look at it, Walenzik. Zik.
I come from Michigan. We have a lot of Polish people, and they put a lot of.
We don't do that.
Okay, well that's great. But Daniel Walenzik, he's DaddyDWally of the NerdChat. Oh my goodness. Dan Weekly with the host of the coolest cats you know. Talk about all things gaming, good food, and the good old days. Yeah. You can't talk about Xbox anymore, Dan. I just checked out your website. Guess what? Still says an Xbox podcast. You might want to fix it. And Bubble Boy's not even on the website.
What?
No.
He's on the picture.
But it's like he's been kicked off the show. But Dan is an amazing guy. I met him, I believe, through the XCP Discord group when I saw you guys were doing this show. And I think it was Chipotle Bear who put that out there. I checked out your show, and I found people I could troll. So it was a good time. They do a live show. They're very fun. A lot of audio drops, and they love games, and they're gamers of a certain age. Dan and his crew are about 10 years younger than me, because I believe Dan just celebrated number 41.
That is correct.
I am 9 years older than you, Dan. So I've celebrated 50. So I approached another decade. So, but you know what? The great part about you guys is, even though you're professionals, you got kids, you do all this stuff, you still find time to game. It's one of your main hobbies. It's amazing. So that's why I wanted to bring you on the show, because the whole thing about why we play is that I just asked that question. Why do we keep playing when so much things can take over our lives, other hobbies and everything, but we still find time to make it a hobby that costs us a lot of money, takes a lot of time, sometimes solitary for your family. And, but you make it work because it's a passion. So I think that's the whole thing about the NerdChat, is keeping bonds through gaming.
I mean, I honestly think the podcast exists because, our love for gaming. Because, we're not a big podcast, and we don't get very many views or listens or anything like that. But the reason why I wanted to do it is because I figured, just why not us? Why? I wish we would have started earlier, honestly, because I feel like what we've grown into is a funny, fun podcast that does, for the most part, celebrate gaming, but also call some things out when we're, not happy. But why do I get, oh man, so do we want to start there with like why I became
Yeah.
a gamer?
Yeah. So typically, I want to look at your past before we go forward into where you're at now. So give me your gaming origin story, kind of your prequel, how before you became the person you are
Okay.
today. Where did it start? What was that specific thing that said gaming might mean more to me than just playing with Mario?
The first time, okay, so I think a lot of people our age or well, maybe specifically my gen millennial, elder millennial gaming memories started, like you said, with Mario. My first ever console, unlike you boomers, was the Nintendo Entertainment System. Okay. Although everything before, all that other stuff you and Bacon have talked about, I have no idea what they are. Whenever you bring them up, it just goes in one ear, out the other. I'm like, I have no idea what they're talking about. My console, my first console, the best first console to start. Well, one of the best was Nintendo. I specifically remember being in Chicago, being in the South Side in the hood, playing my cousin's Nintendo and playing Mario Brothers. And that's where it's like, oh, this is fun. This is different. It's fun. You use the controller. You're jumping around, simple, right? And then Duck Hunt. I'm right up with my gun up against the CRT TV because I'm not going to stand back and make it harder. I'm going to be right up against there trying to shoot because that gun was crazy technology. Remember that thing, Todd? Like, what is
So did you have the
this
orange one?
gun?
Because like they had two different colors, right? They didn't just have the one zapper, right?
Whatever the. Are you sure? I only. There was like. I think there was like. Was there like a rifle one too as well? I just
Here we
had the
go.
handgun. Tell me.
Yeah, so the Nintendo I had,
That's
I got it
true.
from my friend who bought it. He got it from a thrift store. Came with Rob the Robot and Duck Hunt and Mario. So
Yes.
basically, I got
I don't
Rob.
know Rob the Robot. I've never heard of that.
Oh, Gyromite, that game was hot trash. But the reason
No.
why, Dan, the only reason Nintendo actually launched is because of the video game Crash. They said we have to add something in this to make it feel like it's more of a toy than a video game, so people will not say, "Oh, it's video games."
Yeah, I see.
So they put Rob the Robot in it, and they
Don't even
call
know
it the
what that is.
entertainment system. But Rob was just basically this game where Gyromite was basically you're this guy has to cross this level, and to put a block in where there's a gap, Rob would pick up this little gyro, move it over, and put it in. That's all it was, Dan. And it took forever because
I have
Rob
no
was
idea.
slow.
Never heard of it.
Oh
And
my goodness.
I think that's Jose said Dan has never beaten Mario 3 without using Warp Whistle. That's true. All of them I had to warp. I don't think I've ever beaten a real Mario, the first three Mario. Well, no, I did beat Mario 2 legit because that's pretty easy if I remember. If you use the princess, because she floats, and so
Yes,
that made it
Mario
a lot
2,
easier.
right? Which was a great game.
Yeah, he said the Super Scope came later with the SNES.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. Anyway, so back to my origin story. So that was like beginning, like it was kind of cool. Didn't really think much of it. But Todd, the turning point is when I finally arrived in Colorado. At this point, oh, there it is, the zapper. Yeah, that's it.
See the two different colors?
I think it was just the gray one up top, the original design. Was when my Tia Lupi, shout out Tia Lupi, for my birthday, she spoiled us. Okay, got me the Super Nintendo Entertainment System bundled with The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. And I had wanted the SNES because both my neighbors had one, right? And so we would always be playing whatever Super Mario World. That was all time top 10 game of all time easily. And so I asked for a Super Nintendo, and she got me the Super Nintendo, and so I was immediately hyped to play Super Mario World. Oh my god, that looks I mean, the
See all
graphics
those
are actually
posts, Dan? See all those posts coming down?
solid.
Rob controls those.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like Donkey Kong meets an old man with pipes. 1985. So back to my aunt got me a Super Nintendo, and I never really played the Zelda. Like it was like a little complicated for me at the time. I was young. I don't remember how old I was. It must have been like second grade. Second grade, it probably would be my guess. And I was just obsessed with Super Mario World. But then one day, I still remember I was like, I need to play this game because she gave it to me, and I'm like, I need to put in time. And then playing playing A Link to the Past,
right? Yeah.
I didn't know games could be like that, with like a story, the open world, not knowing exactly where to go, the adventure of waking up at your uncle's house, trying to find him, escaping the castle, Ganon taking the princess away, disappear, and then all of a sudden you're just out in this world. And I was like, whoa, this is the true Zelda moment, not this Breath of the Wild stuff where I was like, where do I go next? And it provided you with a little bit of guidance, because it told you had to get these 3 pendants, right? And then so once I got the 3 pendants, Todd, and then I go fight Ganon.
You mean the Triforce?
No, you don't get the Triforce until.
Oh, okay.
Let me get to that. So after you get the 3 pendants, you fight Ganon in the castle, and at that point, I'm like, this is it. I'm going to defeat him and beat this game. And then what happens, Todd, after you defeat Ganon and those 3 pendants? Do you remember? Have you done this? You haven't done this, have you?
I got to a point in that game. I said no because I never played. I didn't own an SNES because I was an NES kid and then I'm like, oh, I was in high school and I'm like, I would rent a Genesis. I would rent an SNES.
You're a Sega guy.
Well, no, I would just rent them. I would rent a Genesis from the arcade or from the video store. I would rent an SNES and I would play the games, but I'd only be able to play like a couple of days.
Well, spoiler warning for those of you going.
Spoil away.
I feel bad because there are people who really Link to the Past is still one of my. It might be. It's up there, top 5 all-time games still to this day. So the big moment is, Todd, is you collect these pendants, you fight Ganon, and you defeat him, and you think, I thought I beat the game. But no, once you beat him, he transports you to the Dark World, which is like a mirror image of Hyrule, and it's like a spooky, ghouly, different color palette and everything. And I'm like, what the heck just happened? And you spawn where the castle is, and it's just this giant broken pyramid. And all of a sudden you're like, there's a whole other adventure on the other side. And my mind was blown as a kid. Like, what is going on? And then at that point, you have to collect 8 different diamonds to combine to use the Triforce, and then you have to fight Ganon again and save the princess. And like at that point, I was like, for a lot of people, I'm sure that's how they felt about Link to the Past and like other games at some point. It's like, I didn't know games could be like this. And that's what really got me into gaming. Before that, it had just been social. It had just been, I'm playing with my friend. I'm playing Super Mario with my friends. We're stitching off levels. I'm playing Ken Griffey baseball. I'm trying to think. I have a bunch of my Super Nintendo games up there. I'm playing Turtles in Time. 4-player beat 'em up. Amazing.
Less of what we think of games now versus a lot of those were just maybe a fun romp, maybe a beat 'em up, something like that, a little Double Dragon, Final Fight, things like
exactly.
that.
Exactly. To me, it was like social co-op. I play Zelda, a single-player adventure with a story, a plot, and a world that just totally took over my life. And that sense of, it's like I hate to say this, it's more entertaining than reading, more interactive than watching a movie where you have control of a character and you're trying to be a hero. I guess like that did it for me.
And by the way, Dan, his background is an educator. So an educator saying, kids don't read, play video games. You heard it here. So don't worry.
I didn't say that, but I mean,
you read so many video games, though, right, Dan?
Well, dialogue. Yeah, I mean, but that's books. The thing. Like, and to continue that, like, then it went to PS1. Like that was my transition. I went to PlayStation. Why did I go to PlayStation? Because of the games that it had, not its first-party games. PlayStation wasn't an amazing first-party device. It was an amazing. We are taking other people's games and putting it onto our platform, and so continuing that, going into PlayStation 1. Playing, I think we were big into Madden, playing again sports, casual things, Ace Combat. Like that was my first Air Combat. Now, or it was Air Combat. Now it's Ace Combat. Playing co-op with friends. I'm sorry, sure it was same with Jose, sure same with Chance. You start off playing with friends, but then there are these moments where you play these games by yourself. Like going back to do I want to read a book or do I want to play a video game or watch a movie? Why don't I do something that combines both of those actions and I can control it? And like you said, Final Fantasy VII. There's another big game that I got into, a JRPG. I'd never played a JRPG before. I remember hearing about that game, seeing the graphics. I thought it looked awful. I remember Final Fantasy VII commercials and seeing gameplay. I was like, that game looks terrible. I never want to
Really?
play that.
The
Yeah, I thought it looked
cutscenes?
awful. I hated the blocky characters. I
Oh, I
hated
mean, but the
clouds.
cutscenes though are pretty
Well,
amazing at the time, right?
yeah, and so that's I can't even remember. So I think it must have just been hype and hearing other people talk about it, and I'm not even sure what drew me to pick it up, but I picked up Final Fantasy VII, and like you said, all that no voice acting, right? I was
No.
constantly reading all the time, and finally, like, and I'm to be honest, video games or playing that game specifically probably only helped my reading comprehension and all that because I was forced to read everything in that game, and that's how you're being told the story. It's not like that now, which is a plus and a minus. Like for the most part, there's still games that have, you're still reading some dialogue but most of it's voice acted now. But that was another moment, like you said, that I remember. Yeah, see, maybe it was the cutscenes that drew me because yeah, the cutscenes were solid, and they at the time were just absolutely mind blowing. Like you're
And
right,
you've got what,
that's
12 polygon count characters then when
yeah.
you
Well,
actually
go
play the
go to a
game.
gameplay of
Yeah.
you walking around.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about
Yep.
Final Fantasy is that and I didn't know this at the time, is that they had like the painted backgrounds that they put right, and like that was like a big deal. Like
Pre-rendered backgrounds, yep,
yeah,
so they can make those look very
that looked very
realistic.
good.
Yes.
But then the characters, the sprites or whatever you want, the actual 3D characters just did not look good. Yeah, maybe it must have been the cutscenes.
Yeah, because the gameplay, yeah, I mean, we're talking right here. I mean, we're talking, this is a walkthrough. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
see,
yes, you're absolutely right. I
to
mean,
me, I was
yeah,
like, but
yep.
but what did it for me was probably the like you said, the pre-rendered backgrounds. But I never played something turn-based. Again, Expedition 33 players playing in a turn-based RPG again for the first time. Like I'd experienced all this,
Mm-hmm.
which was just mind-blowing at the time. And then Jose said, I do love books, but there's still something amazing about a good book, but playing a game is easily better. See, like even the educator, Jose says.
Well,
Sorry,
I
go ahead.
mean, as entertainment's gotten more immersive, books haven't changed,
Yes,
right? I
true.
mean, it's still, you're using your imagination.
Yes.
Dan, Luke wants to know why you're not yelling.
Oh,
Well,
I'll get
that's
to that.
coming
Don't
up,
worry.
Luke.
That's good. Don't worry.
There'll be time when Dan is amazed
Don't
I
worry.
didn't do something. He'll be basically disgusted by one of my takes. So it's coming. Don't worry, Luke. Yep. Yep. Absolutely. But yeah, immersion's a big thing because,
Yes.
depending on when you grew up, Dan, both of us, I'm a little younger, but I mean, TV, all the things we had for weren't that great. We had
Yes.
some
I remember you saying that in another show.
movies, cartoons were typically
Yeah.
not the greatest in the world. They were fun for us as kids. But as things have moved forward, video games have gotten, significantly has had a significant jump of immersion,
Yes.
the technology,
Yeah.
everything,
Yeah.
which makes it even like some of the stories in gaming I would say are even better
Oh,
than
Look
some
what
of the
I'm
movies we
wearing.
get.
Yeah, we'll get to it eventually, but like Mass Effect story,
Absolutely.
like incredible. Like yeah. So Dan, I like Nissa says here, Dan isn't hurt by the past, he's only hurt. This is true. I'm only hurt by Xbox in the present now. But going back to like some more about what really got me into gaming is Metal Gear Solid 1. That also like to this day still one of the that like we were talking about immersion and story. Metal Gear Solid 1, that was the point where I was like, I had no idea that video games could have this kind of voice acting, this kind of depth, this complicated moral choice and consequence, the incredible cut scenes where I'm seeing actual like movie TV style cutscenes in a video game at that point. And even though again you could say the same, like the graphics, like the muddy face, of Snake, like the blurry face, not very good. But the gameplay in that was again something none of us had experienced with that stealth tactical espionage action. I'm pretty sure that's what it says on the box. And another game I have back there. I have my Metal Gear Solid box. Actually, I'm gonna grab that for you, Tucker.
Absolutely. We love visuals.
So on the package for you young kids out there, of course, I only have the greatest hits, Todd. Forgive me. Tactical espionage action is written above Metal Gear Solid. On the back, you've got the you need to call Meryl. What's her or who do you have to call? I don't know. Don't tell me, Todd.
Well, what
this either.
Autocon? There's
Yeah, it says use the
Meryl,
back of
there's-
it, and you can see
yeah.
140.15. I got to call her to get through on the radio. Just an amazing
That is
experience
codex. Yeah.
right there. And then another big one for me. This was my Final Fantasy, Todd.
Oh, 8.
This one took it up to another level.
The gun sword. Yes.
The Gunblade.
Yep.
Okay, another again Expedition 33 fans. Interactive turn-based right there. If you time your Gunblade correctly, you got bonus damage. Okay, similar to South Park, similar to E33 getting a parry or something, another interaction going on there. It's been done before. Right here. And so Final Fantasy VIII, Todd, that's when I was like, whoa, here's a JRPG that had amazing graphics. That's when they took it up a notch. And that this whole game is beautiful still to this day, I feel like. It holds
It's kind
up
of
really
amazing
well.
with FF8. I mean, 7 was so huge, and then FF8, a lot of people tried it, maybe because there was some things they did with it that was different.
Yeah,
and I think
don't-
that a lot of people didn't realize that series was all about changing up every game.
Yeah.
You know?
And then another big moment for gaming co-op that stands out to me, Todd, was Resident Evil. Scared the crap out of me. I didn't know games could be so scary. Traumatic. Running through the police station as Leon. Still to this day, one of my scariest moments. Zombie arms busting through the window and grabbing poor Leon. And my buddy Mike Askin, shout out to Mike, paused the game at that moment, puts it down, he's like, Dan, I can't play this anymore. And then just walked out because he was so terrified. Just terrified. Little eighth.
Well,
little
I
sixth,
mean,
seventh,
what? The
eighth
dogs
graders.
jumping through the window is that iconic? Yep.
And then, Todd, trying to beat this complete
Silent Hill, yep.
Silent Hill. This is worth about 250 bones right here. Okay. Silent Hill, still to this day, haven't beaten this without cheats. We had to have that. What was that thing you had to use to cheat where it gave you like,
Was it
we had
Genie Shark?
what
one of those
Game
two?
Shark or whatever. We
Yeah.
had infinite health, infinite ammo. Shout out to Jack McCall if we played this. I'll never forget. Terrified, middle of the day. We'd only play this during the day with cheats. Still terrified by Silent Hill. I have not beaten this game without cheats. I'll have to do it with the remake, Todd. I'm going to be screwed.
Oh, the remake, I would say, didn't feel as scary to me.
Well, that's two. Oh, wait,
because-
don't tell me about two because I haven't played two yet. But they
So
are doing one.
2 I've never played, or 2 I did play, but I never played it originally when it came out. I played 1.
Me neither.
And that game, I think the fact that what it lacked in technology, it made up for it by adding things to realize this needed stronger hardware. But let's add fog, right? Let's add
See, but we
sound.
didn't know that about the fog
No.
thing. But the
And that's what
sound,
made it
Todd,
great.
the radio,
Yes.
and just the when it started to go off and you knew there's something bad was coming. I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. I'm getting scared. Sorry.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and it was just the way it worked. I mean, a lot of people have seen it. I mean, you were
Oh, and the
basically
lights and how dark it was.
fog never lifts. Yeah, and wasn't there like a pterodactyl in
Yeah,
the
there were
game
these
or something?
flying things that would come out of nowhere when you're running around. It's still
Kind
terrifying
of like
to this
that.
day.
Kind of like. Did you remember that movie, The Fog, with Stephen King? Or no, not The Fog. The
I
Mist,
mean, I've heard of it.
where this mist comes in and they have to, or the fog comes in. No, mist
was it
comes in
the
and
one
they
with
end up-
Mark Wahlberg?
No, this was Thomas Jane.
Which one was that?
Thomas Jane, I think, or was it Aaron Eckhart? One of the two. They're like identical, but they end up going in there
I don't
and
think
then
I saw that.
they try to go out in the mist, and holy cow, Dan, monsters come out of it. So very cool take. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a cool movie. But
So wait, sorry. To
Yeah.
answer your question, how did it become her? It was a combination of that Super Nintendo, PlayStation 1, and that's why to this day you can see it back there with crying Jim Ryan in the middle. The PS1 is still my all-time favorite PlayStation console. Like that thing did so much. It was during that time of, what was it, 95 it came out, 94, 95, I think.
95 in Japan,
So
'96 in the
I
US.
was
Yeah.
like fifth through like middle school, right there, fifth through eighth
Yeah.
grade. I mean, like that was just that was a game changer for me. Like during those years,
Well,
and you
those were
kind of
huge leaps, right? Those were
exactly, and
huge
you were talking
leaps.
about that. Like I feel
Yeah.
like us, Luke's my age, Jose, Nissa, like
Hmm.
all of us, we grew up at a very special time. And I've been reflecting about this a lot lately in my life as I'm aging. I sound like a boomer right now, but like it's true. Like we're very lucky, Todd. Like our generation, the millennials, we saw the change from analog to digital.
Yep.
We experienced the good old days of like not having cell phones, and like I didn't have a cell phone until college, and seeing games go from Nintendo, NES, to Super Nintendo, to PS1, to PS to Xbox, to 360, to what it is now, and PC gaming. Like just the technology we've gotten to see, it's been incredible, and we're very lucky because I feel like we can reflect on before and then after the shift of like the digital age, and
Yeah.
2007 iPhone, like everything basically changed at that point, and now AI is getting crazy.
And some of the technology has been for the good because it's like, oh, we can do amazing things. Sometimes, though, some of the technology is obviously, we now have fixes and patches after the game's launch. Before, if a game launched without that, without that, those things in place, the game was wrecked. So that's why most
Yeah.
games did not come out broken. I think
Yeah.
there was one game, remember, that Nintendo did that where it's like, oh, it had I think it was on the Wii even, maybe.
Yeah.
And you had to
I remember
send in
It was like a Metroid
something.
game or something. Yeah. You had to
Yeah, and
send
then
in like a memory card, and then they like fixed
Yeah.
it and they patched it manually
So
for you,
yeah,
or physically, I
yeah,
should say.
yeah. So that so this kind of leans into the systems that kind of got you there, but what games have meant the most to you? I know a lot of have, you've talked a lot about this, but kind of like those games that meant the most to you. You mentioned quite a few,
Mhm.
but you can even talk about like current games, like have meant the most to you. Because I think we focus sometimes too much on our past about our favorite franchises, but think
Yeah.
about the games now, and it's like
No, I can.
we shouldn't discount that current games could be your new favorite game.
Yeah, I can go by generation by generation. Super Nintendo, Super Mario World, Super Metroid, Metroidvanias. To me, it's a Metroid game. Like I'm not a big Castlevania guy. I'm all about Metroid. Link to the Past, Zelda. Also on Super Nintendo, um, Donkey Kong Country. That was crazy, right? Like what a platformer that was. Still to this day holds up. You can go back and play that. Same with I would argue all of the Super Nintendo games. You could still go back and play them right now, and they're amazing.
Yes.
Turtles in Time. I mentioned that earlier. So many memories. Me and my buddy Mike Cito, we still did this up through college, Todd. We would always try to beat TMNT, Turtles in Time. Our goal was always to beat it. There's like an in-game timer. We'd always say, we got to do sub 20. We got to do sub 20. And the closest we got was 20, like 11 on the
Love
timer.
it.
And I remember Cito, his name, Mike Cito, shout out to Cito,
Mhm.
messed up. You have to beat the hardest part, one of the hardest bosses, the Technodrome. You have to throw the clan at Shredder to destroy
Yep.
it. I remember I was killing it. I was throwing every chance I got, and he messed up multiple times. Couldn't get any throws in. If he would have just gotten the throws in, we
Yep.
would have gotten the sub 20. And then Slash.
Mhm.
Slash, you have to get on both sides of him,
Mm.
pin him in. You can tell I'm serious about this game, Todd. And
Oh,
you
it's
have to-
it's hurt your it's hurt you,
I'm
Dan.
still mad that we never
Yes.
got to, and how close we were that one time. So there's another big one, and then I have another one up there. X-Men, the X-Men Mutant Apocalypse. You should look this up right now. Pull it up. Look up X-Men
Yes.
Mutant Apocalypse on the Super Nintendo, Capcom. Basically a reskinned Mega Man. I didn't know that. I never really played the Mega Man series on Super Nintendo. I had no idea that I'm basically playing a Mega Man game. What a game. Still to this day, the best cast and best lineup of characters you play. So you basically, it's just like, I didn't even realize it at the time. So you have like each character around, and then there's a guy in the middle, like Mega Man, like there's a boss and then a final one in the middle. You have to beat, oh, there it is. Look at that Wolverine right there. That's against the Sentinel.
Oh,
You had
wow.
to do certain moves. You had Wolverine, Todd. You had Beast, amazing Beast. Gambit was in this, playable Gambit. Psylocke was there. There's the Oh, and then there's a spin that Psylocke does, a move here, and we'd always pause the screen on it. There's the beast. There you go. I'm telling you, this game.
Oh my good, the Brood. Look at the
Yes,
size of those sprites.
I'm
Oh, I
telling
love
you,
those sprites.
Todd. This game is worth a watch. And then you got to see. And who else was there? I think Cyclops. Cyclops is in it as well.
Oh, Cyclops fighting Apocalypse. Oh
Yeah,
my god.
I'm telling you, dude. And the powers, like, there's
Gambit.
Gambit. There he
Fighting
is.
Omega Red.
Omega Red.
Oh
there.
my god.
So
Going down.
that was
The
another.
Acolytes taking on an Exodus.
You see, you know more about these characters than I do. I only know them from
Dan,
this.
my son's named Logan for a reason. Yeah.
So yeah, what a game. And then,
I didn't even know about
dude,
this.
Todd,
I have ways to play games. Let's see if this was just
I'm
not
telling you,
radar,
this
Dan.
one is worth your time. It is a great game, and I actually beat this legitimately. And yeah, what's their plane called? I can't remember.
Oh, that was Asteroid M, and that was also the Blackbird. Was the name of
That's what it was.
Yeah.
So there's my favorite Super Nintendo games. Then PS1 would be Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil, Metal Gear Solid, Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo, Todd, got me into my love for cars. That's why I've always wanted to have a fun to drive vehicle.
Dan, I have to pause you right now.
Yeah.
This is the X-Men game I played, but it was on the Genesis. Did you ever play this one? This is the time when you would.
Oh yeah, with Nightcrawler. So I played one like
Yeah.
that on Game Gear as well. But
okay,
there's
that was
a cool.
yeah.
There's another cool X-Men game. It's on Super Nintendo. I can't remember. And it's. Oh, I'm gonna have to look it up. Now you're gonna.
Sorry, guys. For those of you not watching, we're just going back and watching videos of X-Men game on
and
the
it was similar.
16-bit
Oh, it was Spider-Man and X-Men, and the one I played
Was it
with
versus arcade.
something. It was a platformer. It looked like that, but
Yeah.
Sorry, Grayson was telling me there's chocolate chip cookies. Say bye, Grayson.
Bye.
And so PS1, I said, Final Fantasy 7, Final Fantasy 8, Metal Gear, Gran Turismo. I said that, and big one too, sports games. Todd, NFL Game Day. I've got Game Day back there. That's when I got into the sports games. PS2, since I was such a strong PlayStation fan, I went to PS2. PS2 was a disappointment to me, Todd. Everyone claims like PS2 was this amazing generation. I don't remember anything positive about it except for playing a lot of Madden. Like that would be the only game I could really. Grand Theft Auto 3 maybe. And I'm trying to think of what else. Final Fantasy 10. That was a big one. And what else did I play on that thing?
So I was thinking about the PlayStation 2. So PlayStation was still primarily a third-party system. I mean, they had Gran Turismo was probably their biggest first-party game. That then went on to 2, and then I don't think we really saw. I mean, we had.
Were there Jack and Daxters then? Or
well,
something?
Crash Bandicoot was the first one from Naughty Dog, but they didn't own the IP. Universal did. So
and I didn't
then
think
we got
hot take. I didn't think Crash is a very good game.
no those games when you start running forward, and if you didn't have the analog sticks, my fingers I thought were gonna die. But they were funny. They did come after Nintendo. But the PS2 is really where they came. They first started going after like more IP. So you did get Ratchet and Clank. You did get Sly Cooper. You did get Jack and Daxter. And then God of War at the end of the system. So
I never got into God of War.
That was about it for their first party games.
I'm trying to think. Yeah, mostly for me, the PS2 was just like, wow, we have a more powerful system, and I was all in at Sony at that point. And Metal Gear 2, Metal Gear Solid 2 was a big deal. And then I remember that being, I was one of the people who was like disappointed because playing as is it Raiden or Raiden? I can't remember.
Raiden, yes, when he was naked and doing flips. And
that was just stuff. That to me, I was like, what is going on? But on reflection, because I actually went back and replayed it on like Series X or something through the HD collection, I appreciated it more because like all the stuff that Hideo again predicted in that game is quite insane. Like I'm sure you've watched some videos about the AI predicament, but and what's real and what's not, and how people get information, misinformation. But so yeah, those would be my favorites on PS2. And then Todd, my life. That's when Xbox came out. Was Xbox
Xbox was
same time
2001.
or after the PS2?
No, so PS2 came out first, which killed the Dreamcast. Even though Dreamcast came out
That's
first
right.
before that.
Yeah.
Then GameCube and Xbox
I had a
both launched
GameCube.
in 2001,
Yeah.
around the same time that 9/11 happened, which was
Oh.
not great. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I was like, I'm not getting an Xbox. This is dumb. I'm a PS2 fanboy through and through. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But Xbox had this game called Halo, Todd. And I'll never forget another gaming memory. Mike Cito, again, the guy who I tried to do sub 20 with, he got one. I remember we're in his basement after Christmas. He's like, Dan, you got to play this game called Halo. I was like, what? What are you talking about? He's like, just trust me, come over. We're going to play the campaign and we're going to do it on Legendary. You got to play this. And Todd, my mind was blown because I never got into GoldenEye. Like, that wasn't really a big thing. Like, we had a 64, but I never played it much, and my friends weren't big on 64 either. We were all into PlayStation. I had never played a game with the dual analog, and we're doing FPS, like, and controlling it first person. So that was, for me, the first person.
So you never played
shooter I
like
played.
Medal of Honor on PS1, that game with the DualSense?
Which one?
DualShock?
No,
Medal
I
of
had
Honor.
a DualShock.
Yeah.
But
Well,
no,
is that-
I never
yeah.
played the Medal of
You
Honors.
never did first-person shooters?
Ooh.
Okay.
But shout out though, the Medal of Honor on PS2, that was a game changer. I do remember that.
Oh,
Landing in
absolutely.
Normandy, that was a big deal. So maybe I had played. I must have played that,
But before
Halo
your
was
point,
like,
yes.
yeah, Halo revolutionized everything, and the co-op about it. I mean, maybe that was a part of it too. Maybe I'd never played co-op with somebody, and trying to get through having this open world again where you're not really sure where to go and exploring and playing that with a friend on a split screen it was a game changer. And then that led into more memories of LAN parties and Friday football at the park and then going to a buddy's house playing endless LAN parties. We somehow, I don't know how we figured out, because this was in high school for us in 2001, 2002, 2003, connecting to a router with Ethernet cords, lugging TVs to our friend Baka's house.
Because Xbox didn't have dial-up. That was part of it. They did not have dial-up. Xbox Live Gold Xbox Live didn't launch until
yeah, it was
towards the end of it, right?
Yeah, I almost want to look that up, but yeah, because I didn't get it until I was in college.
Man, imagine today we get Bill Gates to come back and launch a console. Look at him. This is the man
Oh my god,
that is making us excited for video games.
Oh wait, I'm looking up the launch date right now. It says, 2002. So yeah, so I was still
So a year later. Okay.
I was still in high school, so I didn't get into the online gaming until we were in the college dorms, and that would have been in August of 2003. And so that's when I probably signed up for Xbox Live and got it. And so going back to my story, so I was a hardcore PS2 fanboy, went to college. I started to think, well, all the games I like that are on PS2 are on Xbox as well, like my Maddens. Ghost Recon, I remember that was a big one where I was like, ooh, this game looks cool. And I remember watching it on PS2 and I'm like, ugh, it looks so bad. Xbox had the power and it did look considerably better. And I'm like, I'm gonna switch to Xbox and I'm just gonna go all in on Xbox. Sold my PS2, got an Xbox, started playing Ghost Recon on Live, and I mean that's my origin story of when I switched to Xbox.
You know what game? I think I've mentioned this before, Dan, but you know what game sold me on Xbox? The original OG.
Oh yeah, you told me it was Buffy.
Yeah, because I was a Buffy fan, and I was in Saudi Arabia deployed for and this was 2002. Deployed. I remember when the Xbox came out at the Air Force BX, and I'm like, that's a beast, and it's very expensive. And the GameCube came out too, and I already have a PS2, and I bought a PS2.
I love the GameCube too.
Because when I was in Korea when that happened, I had bought a PlayStation 2 to justify it for my wife so she could watch DVDs. And then I'm like, honey,
Yeah.
you watch your DVDs? No, I'll just swap. I'll give you the PlayStation 1. You give me the PlayStation 2. But when I remember when I was deployed to Saudi Arabia, and one of the officers I got to become friends with, she was a Buffy fan and somehow had gotten an Xbox and had the game. And I'm like, what? And then she said, "Oh, do you want to borrow the system?" I'm like, yes, please. So I played, I played it and I loved it. I'm like, okay, when I get back to the States, I'm gonna get myself one. And it was kind of interesting because Buffy was an exclusive for Xbox. The Collective made the game, never came out on any other system. So it's very cool. But yeah, it's there's always a game that pushes you to
Yeah.
buy a system, right?
And
Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say, and the one that pushed me to buy an Xbox wasn't like Halo or anything else. I think it was Ghost Recon because I wanted to
Yeah.
play
Yeah.
online, and with Xbox Live, I still remember. I'll never. I think I told you this, or I've told the story before. I remember playing with an old group of guys who were probably my age at the time while I was in college, and his name was Pen Dog, and I will never forget Pen Dog. Like to this day, like I'll never forget him because he was an older guy who brought us into his group, and like we'd always play like at certain times,
Mhm.
and because they were like, oh my god, I hate to say it's like me now having to wait until Friday night after the kids are asleep, after the wife's asleep, and he
Mhm.
brought us in, and we'd play these awesome games on Ghost Recon. I think it was just called Ghost Recon.
Yeah, it would have been the first one, right?
Yeah, on the OG Xbox. But yeah, I other than that, like I can't really think of too many Xbox games that were my favorites besides Halos, Madden, and Ghost Recon and then at that point, Xbox ends its generation fairly quickly. We move to the 360. And Todd, what's scary to me about the 360 is I don't remember when I got my 360. Like I don't think I didn't get it at launch.
I agree, son.
I didn't get it at launch, but I didn't get it like I got it before Oblivion. So there was this period where I don't know. I must have been like, I need to get the next generation. I traded in my Xbox and got a 360, and like I could list off so many of my favorite games on 360. Like that to me is my favorite generation of gaming. I think you and I and most people would agree. Like that's probably right? Probably the greatest gen of like games and like new IP and like you said, the leaps in technology.
It was the
leaps in
last leap I
gameplay.
think we truly had. It also brought together HD. So what you imagine a game or you remember a game maybe looking in your memory still looks pretty good today. I mean, we can laugh at like 360 games, but you know what? They were in HD. We were actually buying HD TVs because we wanted them to look awesome. We never changed our TV back in the day. I mean, right? They just got a little thinner, but they were still capable of 480, and that was it. And then at that point, you were able to hear games. I think was surround sound capable as well because we were getting finally getting. I mean, well, the original Xbox did or 360. Oh, Dan, you're muted.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. I was gonna say the HDMI came later into the Xbox because it was originally
that little thing,
the bunch of colors,
composite,
yeah, the
or
composite
component.
cables. That's right.
Yeah. Didn't come with Wi-Fi. Only had Ethernet, but you could later buy a Wi-Fi adapter.
Correct.
Still had game
games on
memory
the disc
cards and
still
memory cards. There were like 8 gigabytes maybe or something like that, and that was the big thing that. Because the Xbox also 360 launched with a 20 gigabyte hard drive or the arcade, which had no hard drive.
And so with Xbox 360, so many great memories of just iconic franchises being started there. But to me, my favorite
Keep
games...
talking, Dad. I'm going to grab something to show you
go ahead.
how cool I am.
Gosh, top 360 games? I'm trying to think... Halo 3 was a big one. Halo 2 launch on the Xbox One, or OG Xbox was great, but Halo 3, Call of Duty, Todd. Oh, he's got the Gears of War. Let's see it. He's got the Gears of War.
I bought it at a pawn shop later on when I realized there's a lot of games that I could not play on Xbox that were licensed.
No, it's got a sticker.
Yeah, it's got a sticker, not great shape. I don't even know which one this is. This is like the Xbox E edition or something like that. Yeah,
but you got to give it to the 360. I didn't get
360S. This was the first S console. Yeah.
The 360, I never had the red ring, but I did get like an HDMI error. I got that like once or twice, but I would always upgrade and trade in whenever the newest one came out. But yeah, 360 Todd, I'd say you know me. I've got a bunch of Mass Effect behind me that changed my life. Halo 3, Call of Duty, Modern Warfare. I remember that was a big deal.
Mhm.
Call of Duty, Modern Warfare, Call of Duty 4 kind of took me away from Halo. I'll never forget, like, that was the first time I really got into the sweaty PvP shooters. I don't know. Todd, what else? I don't. I'm trying to think.
I mean, the big thing was Xbox had a lot of great partnerships too.
Yeah.
They didn't own BioWare, but they had Mass Effect as
Mass Effect.
an exclusive. They
Was
had
BioShock exclusive first for a little bit too?
BioShock came out. Yeah, I don't know when it came out. Eventually for PlayStation, they had Gears of War, which once again they didn't own the franchise. It was just a relationship with Epic, and then they also made deals with GTA 4? No, GTA 4, right? With the
Yes,
Ballad of
Grand
Gay
Theft Auto 4.
Tony.
Yep.
So they did a lot
Skyrim.
of Call of Duty. Even by the end of Call of Duty, they had like specific
huge.
relationships with Call of Duty. I mean, so Xbox really did a lot of things. They put Netflix on the Xbox 360.
The digital storefront, like that was a big deal.
Yep.
And I didn't
Xbox
get big into
Arcade.
that. Did you buy your games digitally a lot? Like I didn't switch until Xbox One. I was still about getting the disc on 360, and I thought it was kind of weird to buy them,
But there was
through the
only,
arcade.
but like Xbox Arcade games, those are only digital. Like you couldn't buy them. I think maybe they print them on disc eventually. But the reason I bought the 360 was because I thought I was just not going to get a Xbox 360. I was just going to play on PC. So I tried to play Mass Effect on PC, Dan, and there was this sound bug that I don't know what was wrong, could not fix it. And I said, screw this. And then a buddy of mine at work, now this is where kind of fun, where you actually meet geeks of a certain age in a corporation. They find out, we can talk to other people about video games. And I told him about I heard about Mass Effect. I tried it, didn't work. He goes, here, once you get a 360, I will loan you the disc. So then what I did, Dan, I won my fantasy football championship that year. So my winnings, which I'm still in that league, I ended up getting the Xbox Arcade, which was a rookie mistake because I'm like, I don't think I'll need that.
Yeah, big mistake.
Or I'll buy buy a hard drive later, and that was when it was the hard drive set on top. The model I have right here is actually like a square one you drop in, which is a little different.
Yeah, the hard drive.
Yeah, but yeah, that's when I did it, and I got on. I'm like, I became a huge. I mean, I love the OG Xbox. I love the 360. And my 360 never died, but what was it? What's the stealth game Dishonored. That game, it kept on bricking my 360 for some reason. Maybe that was but that was it. But I really love the 360. I remember playing Gears of War with my buddy Sean. And all the games you could play co-op together.
Yeah, the online really took off during the 360.
Well, even this was just couch co-op, like playing like a lot of other games had couch, like Gears and Halo. They all had it. So we were playing Halo 3 together. We were playing, and then on the couch, which was amazing because you could do split screen, and it's amazing.
I got to shout out one game, and I've told this on the NerdChat before. Is my origin story getting me into like Western RPGs and Bethesda games. I had bought for my brother. He had just got a 360, and I'd heard of this game called Oblivion. And I was like, yeah, I hear this game's really good, Matthew. I'm going to get it for you. I think it might be something you should play. I hadn't played it, right? I had only heard how good it was. My other good friend, Alan, had told me how great the previous one was, Morrowind was. But I remember he showed me Morrowind, that's right, on the OG Xbox. Yeah. And I was like, look at this water. This is incredible, but I don't know what you're supposed to do in this game. It was so janky and crazy, like for the time, And so I'm like, Matthew, try Oblivion. Got it for him. I remember being back at home and watching him play it, and you're in the dungeon, and I was just like, what is this? What? You're just trying to escape, and you can pick up anything? You are learning these skills? Then you get out of the sewer and there's this giant open world. And I was like, immediately drove to a Best Buy, bought the game, went home,
Yep.
played Oblivion for like months straight. And like that was another defining game for me. That got me into Bethesda. And then I'll never forget when Skyrim launched, Todd, that was what a moment. 11 11
Oh.
11, which is crazy to think how far away that is now, but like that game I have never been. I don't know if there's ever been a game where I probably just spent hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours just straight playing a single and nothing else. Skyrim was a moment, and I have to shout out those two ones as being some of my favorite defining games and for me on the 360.
That takes me back to Skyrim was amazing. Fallout 3 never hit with me.
Yeah, I
Don't know
did play.
why.
Funny, Todd, I didn't play Fallout until Xbox One. After my first Fallout was Fallout 4, and then I went back to play those other ones on back and back. But
yes,
yeah,
Skyrim was the first real, I would say, Western RPG. That was a big part of the 360 era, was the Western RPG, right? The Mass Effect, these games. It wasn't just the JRPGs that were really pushing the envelope. And I felt like where the Western RPGs really succeeded was True Choice, 3 open world, versus most JRPGs at the time. They had a set course, and you weren't making choices. Your creativity and your choices were coming in. How did you develop your character? But not because, you let Aerith die. I mean, that was just it happened. Sorry, folks. I mean, I couldn't stop it from happening.
I think the coolest thing about the Bethesda games is I've never thought any of the Bethesda games had great main campaigns up until Starfield. I actually think I've said this many times, and I want to make a video about this. Like, Starfield's main campaign is excellent, and I really loved it, and I'm so sad that more people haven't played it. But going back to Oblivion and Skyrim, the things that I love most about those games are the side factions and those random quests that you get, and those random moments where you run into someone and they put you on this huge side quest that takes you off for hours, or you're just trying to the Thieves Guild, the Dark Brotherhood, even the Fighters and Mages Guild, like
the fact that you could get bit by a vampire and turn into a vampire. I remember that. I'm like, oh, I'm screwed, because if you didn't find the cure for it, I'm like, I can't go out in the sun.
The stat drops and all that stuff, and it was so fun. One of the highlights, tying into, you say, what are some of your favorite games? Like this year, replaying Oblivion, the remake. What is it? Is it even? I don't know. What is the official title? I don't even know.
It's not Oblivion Special Edition. Like, say what? Skyrim got Special Edition, Anniversary Edition. Maybe it is just remaster.
Yeah, whatever the Oblivion
just remastered.
Oh,
okay. We just
how do I not?
Dan, we need an intern for the intern.
It is just remastered, but it feels like a remake. Okay,
no,
so it is just titled
like remaster,
The Elder Scrolls for Oblivion Remastered. So Oblivion Remastered, playing that again, man, I just was instantly taken back to playing with my brother and all those memories of exploring. And actually, honestly, Todd, I've been getting the itch to play Oblivion again. Like it's one of those games still to this day where like the music, the setting, the beautiful sunsets you see in that game, the nighttime, just it. Todd and everyone at Bethesda, they do such a great job of just the little things of making you feel like you're in that world. They may not do the best with the combat,
cheese wheels, 85,000 cheese wheels
with encumbrance. Oh my gosh, can we get rid of encumbrance? Like they do so many other little things so well, and then some of the other things they miss out on. But to me,
they allow modding too, Dan. That was a big part of it.
See, I never get into the modding. I play with Bethesda.
But you've seen the mods,
yes.
Though. And then the Leroy, or what was it? They had what Thomas the Tank and
the dragons, So back to 360 games. Those were the big ones for me. I'm actually looking at a list of some of the best games here. I'd have to give a shout out to Limbo. I love that. The Assassin's Creed started then. Batman Arkham Asylum. What a great... I still love Asylum because that to me feels like a Metroidvania. And so the 360... Oh, Fable. I loved... Forget about Fable. That's another great game that I'm looking forward to as well for the remake. But to me, the 360 was a combination of extreme multiplayer gaming with friends, with the sweatfests on Halo and Call of Duty and stuff like that, but also some incredible balance of single player moments as well. Like that's where I think it all came together on the 360 PS3 gen. And I also had a PS3. Loved my PS3 for Uncharted. I literally just bought a PS3 to play Uncharted. And to me,
It's kind of funny that you have to do that, right? Because there's no real way to get back to that era, because even if you had a PS3, the backwards compatibility, like I owned a backwards compatible PS3, and then the drive broke.
So
Sony, yeah.
I still have a PS3 right there. You can't see it. It's the black behind my PS1 right there. I didn't know this. Can you play PS1 games on that, Todd?
You can.
I think I can, right? So I should be able to play these games on my PS.
And I think they even have like a resolution boost on it too, Dan.
Nice. So I'm glad I kept it. Like the one PlayStation console that it's going to take 2 days to update it. But so I know I do want to shout out Uncharted. That was a bit though. I don't talk about it enough. I love Uncharted, Todd. Like I'm obsessed. I have every platinum trophy to every Uncharted game in existence. I have the platinum, including the Vita one, which was also another game I wish you could play.
Rub the screen.
The screen. Put it up to the light. You had to put it up to a light to like do something with a candle. Shout out to Uncharted that got me back into PlayStation, because at that point, Todd, I had left. Like I was like all aboard Xbox One, Xbox 360, and I only came back because
PlayStation came back very late in their life. But yes, it was very dire. I mean,
Golden Abyss on Vita was Red Beast. It is a great game. Because I think if I remember correctly, it's like, is that how you met Sully? I can't remember, but.
And I don't even know who had developed
it. It was like a prequel, I think. It was the guys who did motorcycle zombie game. Like,
oh yes,
I'm pretty sure.
What's the game called?
Well, Deacon, how do I know everything about the game, but I haven't even played it? What is that game called?
Days Gone.
I'm pretty sure Days Gone
by Bend. Yes,
Bend. Well, yeah, wasn't Ben the one who did Golden Abyss? I'm pretty sure.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did, Dan. And that was the days when they had to make a separate game for the Vita, was it Vita? Yeah, because it couldn't play. It couldn't play PlayStation 3 games, so it was like.
Yeah, see, in PlayStation 3, so I did play some of the. What are the first-person shooters? Not Killzone, the other one. Resistance. I did play some Resistance. I think Resistance had a cool premise and story, but I don't feel like the game's ever really played that well. Like, shout out to Insomniac for trying, but I never thought like everyone's like, oh, we need a Resistance game. I'm like, do we? Didn't it sell like awful? By the way, Vita's freaking amazing.
One,
I love mine.
They got better over time. They improved their multiplayer. 2 was horrible. But
what's funny? Luke says Vita's amazing. I'm like, dude, Luke, I still think about getting one back, because there's still some trophies I want to go back and get on Vita.
Good luck finding a Vita memory card, Dan. They're like $30,000.
Well, aren't they? Don't they have like, I've been looking? Aren't they like modded? Can't you get like modded ones?
I think you can find an adapter that will make it.
Yeah,
could say whatever memory stick or whatever.
The stupid. The Vita died for the Switch to live.
No back buttons, so you had to use the screen.
I didn't mind that. That's kind of like a back button though. Like to use it as a touch.
They did sell, third party could find them. They're very expensive, but these things that would allow you to touch the back they put R2s essentially and had a little mechanical. So it was a lot of us, just wanting this amazing handheld to be the savior.
But the Vita was very powerful for the time. Like I remember these, I was like, this is like almost PS3 level when I'm playing.
Compared to
Uncharted.
the 3DS?
Yeah, terrible.
Yeah.
And so I got to shout out the Vita. I got to shout out Uncharted. Shout out, I played Persona 4 Golden on that. Like, that's what got me. Never finished it, but that's
one of the top games. Yeah.
Where
they finally ported it, right? How many years later? Yeah, they finally allowed people to actually play that game outside of the Vita, which was just crazy.
And so back to my favorite games. And then you wanted something more recent. Xbox One. I was there day one on Xbox One. So Xbox One, Todd, was the first console I was at a midnight launch for. I was, despite the awful announcement where I'm like, this feels so wrong, and seeing this is how you share games, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what I was a serious Xbox fanboy. Like to stick with Xbox in that moment, I was still hyped there at the Microsoft Store in the Park Meadows Mall, 2013. I'll never forget, for the launch of the Xbox One. I was number 23. I still have my lanyard somewhere, Todd, where I was in line. Get my Xbox launch console. I brought Battlefield 4, I believe was a launch, and Forza Motorsport, and I think Dead Rising. And
Rise was another game, right?
I didn't get. I
Didn't get
played
Rise?
Rise, but yeah, Rise was a launch game, but I didn't play it until later. 13. I never played that one, Luke. That's one I missed. But I was there day one on Xbox One, and I was all.
It was a good lineup.
We were. Dude, no, Xbox One, Todd. Fantastic launch lineup.
Yeah.
Probably one of the strongest ever of any
A
launch
great mix
console.
of new games and
Yes.
stuff that looked amazing.
A Black Flag was there as well, which was both.
That's
gens.
right. They did the.
Dude,
did they do a cross gen? Like it was
a
on
cross-gen.
the other older consoles? Yep.
No, that's the one where it wasn't. But that's when Rogue came out on the 360 PS3,
Oh, okay. I
and
was
then
thinking about this,
we
yeah.
got Black Flag. Oh gosh, go look
Live
that up
TV.
for me. My TV. Oh my gosh, it was so bad.
Sports.
But
You can plug your HDMI, two HDMI's in. And
to be fair,
Snap.
we were.
Yeah.
Oh, I did that. I did have my PS3 hooked. I think I had my PS4 hooked into my Xbox at one point, just so I could play them both. But we were all aboard the Connect train. We were using it for party chat, or. I appreciated the Xbox Record that, and in fact, that's what the original name of our podcast was. We wanted it to be Xbox Record that. We changed it to Xbox Record this, and then we changed it to the NerdChat. The Connect
only one of those things still remain, Dan.
Don't you have your Connect? Don't you bust it out every now and then, Todd?
It's in that closet by the thing. I would have to find, along with my Steam Link, like the actual hardware Steam Link. I've got a few things that are just kind of why do I still have this? I don't know.
Yeah.
So
But to me,
the
the Xbox One gen was where I was just incredibly loyal to Xbox, and it was a console for me that allowed me. I went back and played a lot of 360 games that I had missed. I remember that's why one of the big. I got to give Microsoft credit for adding backwards compatibility. I did go back and play. I think that was the first time I played Arkham, Todd. I missed Arkham on 360. I played that backwards compatible through my one. But shout outs for me for the Xbox One. Sunset Overdrive, incredibly underrated, underappreciated.
Once again, a cool IP working with a partner that they hadn't worked with before.
Yes, shout out to Xbox for trying with Insomniac. Titanfall, again, that was in that launch window. I mean, yes, it wasn't.
It was ahead of its time.
For multiplayer and the movement. Yeah,
Nobody had launched a full cost multiplayer only game like that, and it only was on Xbox. Did that launch on PC as well, or was it just Xbox?
I think it did.
But it was not cross play with PC, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
And so that was a big deal for me. Forza Horizon. I'd never played a Horizon game, and then I played Forza Horizon 2, and that got me into the Horizon series. I'd never played a Forza before. I was always a Gran Turismo guy, and so shout out to Forza Horizon. Forza Horizon 2 still is a special game for me. And then all the Forza Horizons that came out afterwards. And then also with Xbox One, I'm just looking at a list of games right here.
Well,
I think, go ahead.
Game Pass, right? Game Pass was a big thing, came out along with Sea of Thieves. They tried a lot of new things, and a lot of those were unfortunately were in response to the fact that, I think Halo not being there early and then didn't deliver the game people wanted.
The
Gears
bad
was
messaging, the forced connect.
Gears 4. I don't know if anybody wanted Gears 4 with younger, the younger.
I
crew.
liked Gears 4. I liked it.
I
still
4 and
like
5.
Gears 4
I like
a lot.
both of them.
I like them both a lot, actually. And to be honest, I probably like them. I probably do enjoy the gameplay and overall level design better in Gears 4 and 5 than the original trilogy. But what I remember of the Xbox One, Todd, is just a lot of unnecessary. That's when things started to change. The perception of Xbox. I mean, obviously, but and it makes me so sad. I don't think we all know they've never recovered from that launch. I literally think the launch of the PS4, the TV, the this is how you share games. PlayStation, that was the kill shot. Like it hasn't been the same. Like, and I'm looking at these games, dude. I'm looking, Todd, like you had Grand Theft Auto 5, then you had Red Dead, but like you also forget about Ori, a masterpiece of a game on the Xbox One only, you know? Like there are so many right moves and good games for the Xbox console generation, and it's over. Like I don't know. Sorry, you're gonna say something. Go ahead.
It's the definition of when you have a change in leadership, you have a change in success, and try to see where you can push things. You know, Don Matrick was there. We didn't have Peter Moore. We didn't have that group. Jay Allard was already gone. And because of that, and they also lost core studios. Think about it. Bungie was gone. Epic wasn't making Gears anymore. And it was a scenario where they thought, oh, third party and relationships are going to take us forward. Mm-hmm. So and then even I think then, didn't Peter Molyneux, was he gone by then? And they tried to like.
No, but what did he do though? Yeah. Like to me, he was just like
Fable the Ride was like the last game.
Let's just talk about Simon and like it was like guy. I don't know. I'm just reflecting on it right now. Just looking at these games, like they're great games, but a lot of them are. Unfortunately, I'm just realizing they are third party, and so you could get that on PlayStation. And PlayStation did have banger exclusives during the Xbox One generation. Xbox One started strong. Like it really had an amazing first 2 years there with the launch lineup into Titanfall, into Sunset Overdrive, you had Shadow of the Tomb Raider as a timed exclusive. Cuphead was a great game, and like I said, Ori.
They had to put resources against Connect too. I think that was probably a big challenge to them.
Luke said Peter and Todd Howard are both overrated. I would disagree on Todd Howard. I think Todd. You got to give Todd Howard some credit, Luke. Todd.
I think Starlink is or Starlink.
Todd. See, but Todd's new to Bethesda. His first Bethesda game, I'm pretty sure, was Starfield. Luke.
What, Todd?
Oblivion.
No.
Oblivion at the time, Luke. There was nothing like it. Same with Skyrim. Did you play Skyrim? If you didn't play Skyrim, like I still think Todd deserves a lot of credit. But back to the Xbox One gen, like to me, Todd, that was a lot of great third-party games. But yeah, just I'm trying to think. You're right.
You know what his first
I couldn't
game
even
was,
tell
Dan?
you. It was
Todd Howard's
a
first
sports
game
game.
was Terminator Future
game.
Shock.
Oh.
And then his first Elder Scroll game was Elder Scroll 2 Daggerfall.
Sorry.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
But then basically he has been all in on Elder Scrolls.
Yeah, because he took over
Fallout.
Because when he was the executive director. Yeah, and Fallout 2, Luke. Todd Howard needs to go away. Come on, Luke.
He did work on NCAA basketball.
That's what it was. I remember him talking about that. Yeah.
Yes.
Luke.
And did a game called Protector.
It's even and all this hate for Starfield, Luke. Starfield is a great game. That is a great game. Their best single player campaign and story. And if it was the problem with Starfield is the loot. It's bad. They needed to improve that. I need Avowed loot. That's where Avowed really shined, and Avowed exploration. The problem with Starfield is they got too big into the procedural generation and let's have too much. The loading screens, come on, it takes a second to go from door to door. That's not a big. People will make that a bigger immersion breaker than it really is. I don't like that. Sorry, go ahead, Todd.
I was gonna say, Dan, I think we have seen success stories of games struggle. We saw Cyberpunk. We also saw No Man's Sky struggle. Even Final Fantasy 14 had to be completely rebooted. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking Starfield may get a chance as it's reintroduced to
PS5,
PlayStation 5. Exactly. Well, it becomes basically the game it probably was meant to be, right? They really needed Starfield to shine fast and hot, and a game like that didn't do it where people wanted it to be.
I think the expectations were sent way out of control. I think people were expecting something that
I think
unfortunately, I feel like when we saw that direct, I still argue this to this day. They showed us what the game was. When you watch that direct, that hour direct, That is the game we got. They delivered what they promised, in my eyes. And I went into it with expectations like, this is a new IP. It is by the makers of Skyrim, but it is not Skyrim.
No.
And that's where the
Well,
problem
a lot
was,
of people
went
sold
into
Skyrim
it,
in space, right?
and
That's what
that they
everybody
never
talks
said
about.
that. They never said. If you watch that direct, they show you what the game is, and it is exactly that. And it's just the perception and expectations. I will stand that Starfield is still a great game. Luke says I have 100 hours in it, but it's not a great. It's good. It hit me different. I was lost in that world. I was lost in that story. I was lost in that main campaign. I still think Starfield it will always have a special place to be. It was a combination of. There's the Todd father. Look at him. He's so professional. It's a combination of Mass Effect at times, or not with your team, but more isolated. You have to go into it knowing you are an isolated explorer trying to solve a mystery. And it gets spooky. There are a lot of questions. It gets a little repetitive, yes, but you can say that about any game. But if you go into it saying, I am isolated and I need to solve this mystery, that's where I think Starfield really shined. You can't go into it expecting it to be Skyrim in space. You can't go into it expecting it to be Mass Effect because it's not that. It's its own thing, and I appreciate it. And they try to do too much, Todd. And all of it is really good. I was going to say,
I think that was part of it.
All of it's really good, though, but it's not great, and it doesn't come together well. Sorry, go ahead.
I think we talked about, where Peter Molyneux, I would say he and Todd, at least in this case, kind of got to the point where they really raise expectations. And a lot of things games develop over time. We don't remember that The Witcher 3 had a pretty crummy launch, and they had to do so many things to get it where Cyberpunk, same thing. We don't remember that. We do remember No Man's Sky just because people keep bringing it up and like how it's changed. So I was thinking when they showed that presentation, I went with my friend. This was when Xbox would allow, do the presentation, and you could watch it at a movie theater, and you could win tickets. I did that with my friend. My friend was like, "Oh, this looks amazing. I can't believe it." And it's like, he got it and it's not as it's a little clunky at times. So I think it was because he didn't really like Skyrim and games like that. So he was that. But I think the other part was the things that they overpromised, like how many planets and maybe some
too much
stuff. And there was some extra stuff there. I'm like, I kind of wish they had honed to maybe 5 planets.
Yes, exactly.
So there's something, but I think, Dan, there's something there because I found missions there, and I said I was going to go back. I was going to go back.
I know you told me this.
A map, because I'm like, in space they don't have a GPS to show where your town is. Come on, Dan.
Yeah,
but the one mission where you're there's that alien creature who got unleashed. It was like an alien game. Yeah, that was awesome. I wanted more of those.
You should have stuck with that. That's the whole. I can't remember which faction it was, but yeah, that's a whole. I can't remember. It's
gonna like a Batman ship too, or
yes. There's a whole Batcave element. There's a whole element where you find people who've been frozen in time. Yeah. I don't want to spoil that one. There are these again. They're so good at these random little moments. These little moments where you find, but you have to work to get to that point. And I think that's what people don't like. And I also think that people realized with Starfield is that maybe they don't like Bethesda games as much as they thought. And I've said this before in the nerd chat, is I think you either like Bethesda games or you don't. You either like the janky Oblivion, Skyrim, Fallout style games, or you don't. This is more of that and that clunkiness. And I think people are realizing maybe we don't like that. And so I don't really have much more to say about Xbox One, PS4 generation. I got a PS4 late. I've played the PS4 exclusives. I can't tell you one where I'm like, I love it. Besides Uncharted. Uncharted 4 would probably be my only favorite PS4 games. I beat God of War. It's a very well-made game. Can I stop watching a cutscene all the time? Does everything have to be cinematic? I played Ghost. I liked Ghost of Tsushima's gameplay, but that game could be half its size and condensed. It doesn't have to be such a big open world. Can I skip pointless dialogue telling me to go find some pots or some rice, or I need to go get this? Can I please, for the love of God, for some reason, Sucker Punch, can I skip simple like pointless side quest cutscenes. Like I don't need to watch everything. The problem with me with Sony during the PS4 era is it just got too cinematic. It got too much. I'm watching a game, not playing it, and I'm more of a gameplay guy. To me, a good story is a bonus. I enjoyed Mass Effect's gameplay. I genuinely did that third person gameplay first, and then the story blew me away. And then both only got better and better with each game. With PS4 era games, I felt like I was doing the same third person, over the shoulder, action adventure games, shimmying slowly through rocks, cutscenes, sneaky bow and arrow. Like, what game am I describing? Is that Horizon? Is that Ghost of Tsushima? Is that The Last of Us? Like, to me, that's where I respect everything. I cannot tell you that PlayStation has made a bad game, first party game. Like, they are all well made, and I completely respect that. But they didn't hit for me like a lot of people during the PS4 gen.
No, I get it, because I think where the end of PlayStation 3 is where they started like really planning their identity as a very strong first party. That's why you get PlayStation now, because
that's where I remember first party for PlayStation becoming a thing, Todd, to me in my eyes.
Correct. And then PS4, that continued, but it was almost like they didn't have a strong enough leader of all the studios, the vision to say, are we going down a path that's, and now we see it with PlayStation, where they can only put one game out a generation because they take too long, we're putting too much dollars into it. And I think that is where things are going to have to change, because we see it where we're at in gaming, and it's very difficult. You can't take 8 years to make a game, because the game will never make that money back. It's going to be impossible unless you're Grand Theft Auto 5. 6. How many have we had? Yeah. But I think, Dan, I just wanted to pivot to something on a little positive note. What has you most excited about the future of gaming?
No. I'm going to interrupt you right there. Save that question, Todd. I'm not done yet.
Oh.
I'm not done yet.
Sorry.
We need to talk about, so you wanted current games that have been amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
You said we skipped these. Yep. I've got some current ones. I'm looking right now. Let's get to it.
I'm all ready. Let's go.
Game that is now in the top 5, maybe top 3 of all time for me, happened to me recently. Take you back to 2022 in February. What launched, Todd? Elden Ring, a game of a generation, came out in February 25, 2022. One of the greatest games ever made, changed my life. Praise be to Hidetaka Miyazaki, changing my life forever, getting me into the Soulsborne era of games Mike Souls likes. My God, praise be to Elden Ring, and then Elden Ring Shadow of the Earth Tree, basically a sequel. My God, bigger almost than the base game. What an incredible, excited about the future of gaming, Todd. Speaking of some current games that come out this generation, Elden Ring changed my life, Todd. I had never gotten into a Souls game in my life because I was afraid. I was like, I don't want to play a game that punishes me, that's too difficult. And I remember playing Elden Ring when it came out because I was all aboard the hype train. I was like, I don't get it, right there with this My Samurai, just like that. In that first area, out in the lands between, I'm like, this sucks, just getting destroyed. I don't get it. This game is awful. I don't want to keep playing this. I keep losing my souls. But then you keep going. You keep exploring. You level up. You get into the YouTube culture. You start looking up builds. You start looking up farming spots. You start looking up gear. And you start getting more powerful. You start coming back to that boss that you keep dying to. You get stronger. You start paying attention to some of the attacks. You're not just dodge rolling all the time. And then all of a sudden, you're 150 hours in, and you've just played one of the greatest games that have ever been created in our lifetime. And you're like, wow, I get it now. I get what Mr. Miyazaki had planned for me on this adventure. And you get every achievement on Xbox. And then you're like, I'm not done there. You get every trophy on PS4. I'm not done there. I'm going to get the platinum on PS5. And you're like, oh no, I'm certainly not done. I need to get it on Steam, every achievement as well. And before you know it, you've spent 700 hours in Souls games and you're sucked in. So there you go, Todd.
I played very little of the game. I think I beat a boss. I mean, my first mistake, you come out of like that crypt, I guess.
Yes, that training area.
And there's a person there.
Right there, yeah, some weird guy. I still don't know what's going on in the game, Todd, but I just play it.
Well, I decided to attack that first person when you come out of there.
No,
like, bad
no,
mistake.
No,
bad mistake.
You can't do that.
And then I finally then found this creature. It was like a rat guy, and he was like kind of a pseudo boss, I guess.
Yeah.
And I finally beat him after my son helped me, and that was it. I like,
Todd.
This is going to be a long thing that we talk about game. You can either get good, right? You have to get good at these games because if you don't get good, then you're not enjoying yourself. You hate it.
True.
But gaming's one of those things where you do, you don't have to be good at watching movies. You don't have to be good at, you may have to be good at reading books like with vocabulary.
Yes.
But gaming is an entertainment hobby outside of sports that I feel like you get what you put into it, right?
Yeah. And that's perfectly said for Souls games. You will get what you put into it, and you do have to put in, and specifically with some of these games. So, got to shout out Elden Ring. Also, another one of my favorites this generation, Resident Evil 4 remake, Resident Evil 2 remakes. Those are fantastic games. Forza Horizon 5, absolutely should have been Game of the Year 2021. Absolutely got snubbed.
Wasn't it for IGN's Game of the Year?
I don't care. It should have been at the Game Awards. Okay, let's not go over that again. I have enjoyed the Spider-Man games. I still haven't played 2 yet, but fun games. I think incredibly well made. Love it, Insomniac. I would love to see Insomniac do something new. Honestly, like that would be a dream for me to see them do something new. And I'm trying to think of what else current gen. Alan Wake. I forgot to mention that for 360. I enjoyed Alan Wake 2. Did you play that, Todd? Did you love it?
Yes, absolutely loved it. Loved it.
I still think 1 is better, but I appreciate its wackiness, even though there's another game where it's like, can I play the game instead of just watching, So I had to shout out Elden Ring because that's a current game that changed my life. And I went back, Todd, after beating Elden Ring multiple times, and I went back and played all the Souls games, and I beat every Souls game. And I also got the all achievements for Sekiro, which was terrible and awful. And I'll never replay that, but I did it. Unlike your son who thinks it's easy, But that was a genre of games that I just completely never experienced for me, Todd. And Elden Ring brought me into it. So you said, what am I excited about gaming into the future, Todd? I'm nervous. I'll be honest. I don't know. I'm not in a point where I'm like excited for the next gen as I was previously. Because I was excited for the Xbox Series launch. I thought Xbox did everything right with the Series console. They brought out this big, powerful console. It's been flawless for me. I mean, I still have ours upstairs, but still my son plays all the time. Game Pass has been a great addition, a great way to get into games affordably. But now, speaking of affordably, I'm concerned about, is gaming going to be as affordable as it has been in our past? I'm genuinely concerned with everything going on with AI, with these GPUs, with these RAM, with gaming prices in general. Todd, am I excited to continue my hobby? Yes, but I'm concerned that I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford it as much as it once was. Do you see what I'm saying? Like PC gaming, my GPU, if I hadn't built mine when I did in 2023, like
same boat,
I would be screwed right now. Like I can't imagine trying to build a PC right now. And I'm scared, Todd. I'll be perfectly honest. I'm a little scared because of everything that I mentioned and also time. I feel like I'm running out of time to play everything I want to, Todd. And it's becoming a problem. I'm afraid. So you're smiling over there, like it's.
You just have to wait till your kids are all outside the house and go to college, Dan. I'm there. You just have to wait a few more years.
But even then, like, do you not feel overwhelmed with like all the things to play?
Well, all the things to play, all the things to watch, all the things to read,
Exactly, to consume and do.
all the entertainment I could do outside my house, see concerts, work on projects around the house, make food. You know, I mean, just there's
work out. Like I'm
unlimited-
trying to like. I've only been gaining weight, Todd. No more abs for old Wally. Like I've gained 10 pounds.
My
like
son's
I got
the same boat, right? Yeah. I mean, it's tough. But I would say, Dan, I think there's some things that will create a change in the status quo. We've been kind of in the status quo for a long time with gaming. We're obsessed with the hardware. What system? Are you a fan of this or that? And the games have evolved around and always been trying to push the envelope and cutting edge, except for a couple companies. You know, we get like Roblox, they don't push but they have tons of viewers. You get weird games that just like capture the imagination, like Minecraft. It's more about like the concept and everything. You can play it on a toaster or whatever. I think what the positive about this, Dan, is I think people are saying now, developers have to stop worrying about making the cutting edge, stop catering to the people with the most money, and then the game's not working well. Start, and I think that's where they're going to change how they make games so people can still play on a potato. They can play on the PlayStation 5 for 10 more years. You don't get the bells and whistles. And then maybe bring in something like where Steam can come in, as we're going to get, where it's like, we're going to make something that's just good enough, but it's going to allow all those people that ever wanted to play on a PC. We're going to get a great experience. It's going to be to the metal because we have one spec, where PC gaming in the past has not had one spec. It's been, give me a variety, motherboards, video cards, RAM, everything like that, where it's like, that's why PC, it's so hard to develop for in regards to optimization, because you don't know what I've got and what you've got. I bet, Dan, we probably don't have any common elements between our PCs. And that's the scary part.
Yep.
So what I'm hoping is, and when you say experience like the NEX, which just launched, Dan, it's $200 and it's still getting people to game, but an entry level that's affordable for the whole family, kind of like the Wii did, right? We create gamers. Maybe the NEX will do that, and maybe somebody will be given a PlayStation 4 from a relative and they play there. But I think in a lot of ways, I think it's going to force people to change their approach to say, we can't have the $599, the $699, and $799 boxes anymore.
So that you touched on something there with what I'm excited about. Here's what I'll say. I'm excited that hopefully with these prices of development costs, that it will force developers to really have to focus in and make smaller scale, shorter games. That's what I would want. That's what I'm hopeful for, because we can't keep going at the pace that we're going with what we're getting right now. And something that stood out to me, and I got to give credit to Colin Moriarty over at Last Stand. I was listening to, they were doing like a bonus episode, and he said he's upset with all this obsession with developers and using AI tools as a solution. And he's like, why does AI have to be the solution to these problems? And he's like, think of it this way. If it's a problem that you're paying, it's costing this much to make a game, how is AI going to solve it?
I could tell
make the games smaller and cost less to develop. If you're having a problem writing dialogue for this massive game, just make the game shorter. Why do you have to use AI to solve these problems that you could solve yourself? It's not our problem that games are too big and too expensive. That's a Sony problem. That's a Nintendo problem. That's a Microsoft problem. That's a Bethesda problem. That's an Activision problem. Figure it out. Like, to me, Todd, these developers need to figure it out. If you're having to crunch, maybe don't do so much in your game. If you're having problems paying for all these developers on this massive game, don't hire so many people. Figure it out. Is that wrong to say, Todd? Like, you change your scope and scale and your goals. Like, figure it out. You don't need an AI tool to do it for you. You can still do what you want to accomplish within certain goals. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that, Todd? Because that's my thing.
I think the problem is, I've heard somebody that was very smart about this, that AI has been sold to corporations that leaders who don't necessarily make the games, make the products, develop the software, whatever, are it's the buzzword, right? And we're gonna invest in AI. You start hearing about a lot of things that they never mentioned AI before. Now they have AI because they're tied to the corporate structure. Also, basically being probably a publicly traded company, where if you're not in AI, most investors are going to say, well, what are you doing? You're going to get left behind. So then they have to use AI. They invest in it. So then it'll be like a middle manager will be told, well, we got to use AI. And they don't necessarily know how to use AI to challenge the tools they've got. It in my company, I can tell you, we are using Gemini, which is whatever version, and we're
Yeah.
basically told to use it. And I found things to do with it, sure, but it's not the areas where I feel like we add value. And typically AI has come in to basically say we can cut headcount, which is the most expensive thing you probably have as your human
Yeah.
capital. AI doesn't need healthcare, it doesn't need vacation, it doesn't take a break. There's no crunch with AI. They can work and they never complain. So I think, Dan, it's a lot of leadership, corporations, and I wish a lot more studios and things would not be publicly traded, would not be sold out to an EA or whatever. But I think that's our biggest problem because um, I think AI looks as a way to save money and still make the same level of accomplishment, and we don't know if that can even happen. I've always said I want AI to basically cure cancer,
Yeah.
not write our games,
Yeah.
not make our
Well,
movies. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm all about using AI as a tool, you're
Yes.
saying, like in certain
Yeah.
aspects. I'm not this anti guy. I use ChatGPT a lot in my normal everyday life. I use it to like estimate calories.
And we're not the problem, Dan. We're not we're definitely not the problem. You and we always say this, we're not the problem. It's the corporations who are investing
Yeah,
billions of
I
dollars
don't
in
know.
this.
I just hope all this change helps studios focus because then you get games like Expedition
Mhm.
33
Yes.
comes out of nowhere, simple tools, simple game when you really look at it. If they can have that kind of success, other major publishers can too. You gotta figure it out. I don't know. So what am I excited about? Hopefully forcing shorter, smaller scope games and making it be and just I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it at that, Todd, because I'm starting to just get more worried than I am hopeful
Well,
at this point.
Dan, being an old perspective of my first video game system was the Atari 5200.
What's that?
Essentially was one of the Atari 5200 was my
I
first
don't know.
console. Oh, one of the biggest piles of trash in the world. It was so big, Dan, had a component or a cart, basically an area to store the controllers in it. Let me show you this thing, what this looks at. It wasn't even backwards compatible, didn't play Atari 2600 games, which was the first thing. It's crowning achievement, Dan. It was the first system to allow you to pause your game. That was it. Horrible
Yeah.
controller, had a keypad for some games, I didn't even know why. And it didn't really have any great games on its own, although the games looked a little bit better than the 2600. I mean, it's something that I don't even know if my mom still owns it, but this is a great image of it. Let me see if I can find another system. But the cartridges were big.
Gosh.
They finally started looking a little bit better. And yeah, it was not a great system. So that was around when we had the video game Crash. So here we go. Here's the big girl. So basically this part right here, Dan, is empty.
Empty. Yeah,
You open it up.
Empty.
And look at that. Even it's so big you
Todd,
can
I
wrap.
can't look at this.
Yes.
This is just ugly. Just get rid of it.
It's great. It's great. It's beautiful. And those are the controllers, Dan. They're horrible. They're one stick. Buttons on the side.
How do people game like this?
Yes. So when you guys complain
Instead,
about the
they should have been
PlayStation
using
4
something like
DualSense,
Look at this
yeah,
DualSense. Look at
when
this.
when those when those Xbox complain about, oh, my hands hurt. Nut up, Buttercup. I survived. Dan, I remember when you only got one analog stick and you were happy with it, right?
Oh yeah, this 64 control. Look at these things.
But I think ultimately, though, hopefully, just like the video game Crash emerged, Nintendo emerged and basically said, we're going to do things different. We're going to simplify, make the quality important. Maybe we're headed towards something like that. Well, basically,
we need something. Yeah,
I think we have to, because the path we're going down now is, you can see it. It's just a lot of people are like, well, I already own a PlayStation 4. Why would I get a PlayStation 5? Because things aren't changing enough where it's noticeable. So, so let's hope for that, Dan. Our generation we're dead to the world. And maybe it's the kids who are playing the Roblox, the Minecrafts that will make the next great game.
Yeah. Well, speaking of, I'm excited because gaming. Let's go into that. Let's go. You said last question is gaming resolutions. Todd? Did you want to go
so
there?
it's like we talk about our good good intentions are one thing. We always say about gaming, what do you want to do, Dan? I want to do this. I want to do that. I've got a pile of games. I've got a backlog. If you think about it, what would you like to do in 2026 when it comes to gaming that maybe you haven't been able to do, or you want to do more of, or less of?
You know what? This is a good one. Instead of focusing on me, like I always do, okay, things I need to do for my gaming, I would like this year to game more with Grayson, because we have not really been gaming much, because he's got a Switch and he likes to play his Mario Wonder, all the Mario games. He's getting big into Burnout. Minecraft Dungeons is another big one, and I tried playing Minecraft Dungeons with him, but I'm like, this game it's kind of mid.
But you get so impatient with your kid,
he loves it. But here's the thing. I would like to game more with Grayson, and specifically my goal for this year is to try to get through Halo Combat Evolved co-op. Okay. And
do you think he has the
That's what I'm going to try to figure out.
Yeah.
Exactly. But we'll try it, because we're building that stupid Mega Block Warthog, and he's actually done a bunch of it, which about himself, so I'm really proud of him. So I figured, you know what, maybe it's time to introduce him to Halo. Is it too early? Is it too late? I don't know.
A suggestion for you, Dan.
Yeah.
Maybe take a step forward in a game that you can play together that's just goofy and fun, but is also a first person or a shooter. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare, or one of those. Those are fun. I played with Logan when he was young, because I'm like, I don't know what he's capable of, and we had a blast because it was something that, or even the Lego games I think are kind of fun. But try it. I mean, if you think that would be within his wheelhouse, if he's capable of it, or you're gonna say, "Get good, Grayson."
I know.
Guys, get over here.
I need your help over here with these elite grunts over here. Luke says, Dan, Sonic Frontiers or Generations Cross Shadow. It does what Mario does. What does he mean by that, Todd?
He just likes those games. I don't know. The Sonic.
You're saying I should get Grayson a Sonic game? I haven't even considered that. But no, I think that would be a good goal. And I'm just thinking,
maybe,
like,
how about a brawler beat 'em up, like the old?
I thought about TMNT Turtles and Shredder's Revenge.
New Cosmic Avenger, the Cosmic game.
Just something, because he plays a lot with his friends, and they actually play a lot of Minecraft Dungeons, which I'm glad that I got him that. But like something else to push him. So yeah, I think that would be a great goal. Is to
then you have Game Pass. You have so many games that you can just try out, and like it doesn't work.
It's a good point. And I still have a Series X upstairs, so that would be a gaming resolution for me. And then as well, and I say this every year, Todd. For me personally, then I got to quit caring about achievements and trophies. I really do.
Dan.
I really do this time. Like, I just need.
Don't you know a therapist or somebody that could help you with this problem?
I don't even.
Can't Chance help you with this?
But then, see, my thing is like, I really just want to go all in on Steam, because then I really don't care there, because you can't really see anything in Steam.
Correct.
Unless it's like a perfect
Would
game.
Get stickers in Steam or something, or they give you.
But then I'm like, I'm at 320,000 gamer score, and to me that's not a very good number. It's like I got to get to 500,000, then I could just cut it off completely, and then I got to get to like 100 platinums, and then I could just cut it off there. But it's like,
Dan, you know how many platinums I own? You know how many platinums I have, Dan?
1.
0.
And bless your soul for that you don't care, and that you can live in this world where you just don't, you're not cursed by gamer score and
Dan, I'll
trophies.
give you a gamer score. You tell me what you did, I'll give you a gamer score. I'll say, here's the Todd gamer score. I'll just give it to you.
Here's your
stickers. What do you want it to be? Trophies, medallions, about ribbons. Dan, I think that's amazing, because as we get older, you want to have things to share with your kids.
Yeah.
Sharing hobbies with your kids that you have together is amazing, because it allows you and then find out what your kids like and play with them. Hey, maybe you could be like,
I don't want to like force it either, Todd. I don't want to
No.
force my hobbies onto him.
No.
I want him to have his own thing. Like I'd love for him to be able to play basketball with me or football, but I want him to do his own thing. So it's just how it is raising a kid. Like it's a fine line where like I want to introduce, but I don't want to like be overbearing with things.
Absolutely. Dan, I will give you the advice of a dad who tried to introduce to his kids to a lot of things. Let him understand that you don't have to love it. Just give it a try.
Yeah.
And then he finally found his path. Sports were not for him, but he found Taekwondo. He wasn't into
And music. Like how did your
sports.
son get into music?
Get into music. He just had a penchant for it. So I'm like, hey, let's send you to the School of Rock. So he did that for a little bit. And then it just started coming in. Like he would like music. He would sing and things like that. I'm like, well, I would play band in high school. So I got into like, hey, I can get you a trumpet. You want to try it? And it just stuck with him. And now that's his passion.
So
Taekwondo and music was his passion.
Just try things. Just try it. And just, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But, resolutions are important, Dan. Don't put too much pressure on it, but let it happen. And I would say the best thing you can do is every year as a family, we create a list of just goals we want to accomplish and all this stuff. So it's kind of like shared accountability. So if you let everybody know, hey, I want to play more games with Grayson would love to hear that, right? He would love to hear.
That's
like,
a great
let's
point.
talk about that.
That's a great point. That's a great idea, Todd. I like that. I love that. I'm
But smart goals, right, Dan? What do they do in high school? Like,
I hate
measurable,
that. Specific, measurable, attainable, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Dan, with that, I have one really quick question. What was the best thing you got for Christmas this year?
Oh, Todd.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know out there, my birthday is right next to Christmas, okay?
Yes.
So sometimes I get forgotten by others. Not really. My parents and family were always great about it. But this year, one of the gifts I got was a second DualSense right here. Okay, this is a black.
You almost threw it, Dan.
Get it out. That was not the best gift I got this year. Did get a cool Broncos jersey. Wore that last night in NerdChat. Don't have
was
it
it
on
a
right
bow?
now. Nick Bonito, defensive and inside linebacker. But you're getting a special treatment right here. I bought myself a little gift, right?
Nice.
Because sometimes you just got to treat yourself, as they say on Parks and Rec. Okay.
Yes.
Because we're getting live on air. Just
Here we
arrived
go.
here too. Where else are you going to get this except for on the Fandom Foundry Network? A live unboxing.
I'm eager, Dan. From Target. Okay, guys. Dan is opening the Target box. Those who are listening online, not watching,
Guys,
but please watch.
I'm getting taken back right now to the late 80s, early 90s.
Here we go. What do we have here, folks?
Drum
Drum roll.
I didn't even know this existed. This is the 1988 remastered 6-pack of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles original looking action figures.
Look at those
Todd,
guys.
you have no idea how bad I wanted all of these characters when I was a kid. Right here. The same
amazing,
expressions. I'm looking at it right now. It's a little bit too updated for me. Like Raph's got, red on his side right there. Leo, it's a little. Their belts and holsters are looking a little too clean for me. I don't care.
Dan, they had to make it at least so some kids would want it. Outside of us
No,
olds,
this
right?
is not for kids. This is not for kids.
Yes, I know.
Look at them.
I agree.
Look at those little weapons. I got
Amazing.
Shredder. We got a Splinter looking like a dork over there. We got the turtles in their different colors. I do appreciate that. Donnie's in his weird brown, his musky brown. Leo's in like the traditional green, and I don't know what. I guess Raph is in like the cartoonish green. I'm just getting taken back right now, looking at the camera, looking at this turtles right here, Todd.
So for anybody who's watching this is a cool. Is it a Target exclusive, Dan?
Yeah, it is a Target exclusive.
But yeah, they're in a layer that looks like the sewer. They're the old school versions that originally launched with the cartoon.
Here, wait, Todd. I can give you full descriptions right here.
All right.
Celebrate Turtles history with action figures based on the first wave of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys from 1988. remastered with new articulation and intricate detail. These characters combine retro styling with modern updates. Can you pull up the
I love it,
originals,
Dan.
Todd?
Here we go, Dan.
I don't see. It's the extra articulation.
It's probably
it's
shoulder. It's
similar.
probably joints. Probably joints.
Yeah,
in the,
there's a bunch of joints
yeah.
going on here. We've got the hip, the knees, the foot, the ankle.
There you go, Dan.
There they are. Guys, I feel like
it's pretty
Todd's
excellent.
taking me back.
There they are. There they are, right there.
Todd's taking me back to a kid right now. Playmates, there it is.
So Dan, they did the same thing with my youth. So they did He-Man, the Master of the Universe. Now they're doing retro action versions. So they do add like joints and things.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. So that's an amazing present. I would say, you know what, being able to recapture your youth, enjoy those
Just
things.
for a moment.
Yep. And so it's your kids, you can show them what you got you excited back in the day versus a gift card or a phone.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, I guess the other great gift was just being able to go on a date night with my wife. We went and got sushi, and it was amazing. So the little things, Todd keeps going back to it. So, but no, it was great to see all my kids open up their gifts like that. There's nothing like you know how it is, Todd, when they're young and they still believe in the Santa magic. Like I'm sure you missed that. So.
Oh well, my son woke up. He went to bed at 4 a.m. on Sunday or on
got
Christmas
up late,
Eve,
love
playing Ghost of Yote, and then I made breakfast, and then when he finally woke up, we finally opened some presents. So yeah, I miss those days.
Yeah.
But you know, it's amazing to see the kiddies now, and that's a great thing. And ahead of you, Dan, you're going to see the awesome people your kids will become.
Yeah,
it makes you feel good and old.
Thank you. Yeah,
don't tell me that. We'll bring up back in my day, and your kids will be like, "Shut up, Dad." We don't want to hear that.
I'm already going to be the embarrassing dad. I am all like, Dad.
That's the perfect
I love
point. That's the perfect point. Well, Dan, this has been an amazing episode.
Thank you.
Why we play. I think everybody now knows a bit more why Dan plays. They don't know why he throws controllers. There's a lot of things we don't know, but you know what? We do know that Dan and the NerdChat are an amazing group of people talking about games. Please check them out. And they're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Still need to eat those JBCs.
Yep, absolutely. So Dan, tell people all about that and how they can follow you and watch the cool stuff that you do.
You can follow me at DaddyDWally across all social media. You can follow the show at the NerdChat Podcast on all social media. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to Luke. Shout out to Nissa. Shout out to Jose. Shout out to everyone. Red Beast. Shout out to Todd Oxford, as always. He's always a good one. #1 intern of the NerdChat. Happy holidays to everyone, and thank you so much for having me on, Todd. This was a blast.
And I do realize I should wear my NerdChat shirt. I got one of the ringer tees.
I need to wear mine more.
Like a Mass Effect. I forgot to wear it. I finally found it in the laundry. But yeah, I mean, the great thing about these networks and the people I know, they've made me more connected to gaming, more connected. I've made great friends across the world. Dan's in Colorado. I'm in Minnesota. And you know what? If you, our groups are open for everyone. We've gotten to know more people, and we share and care with the group. So thank you so much, Dan, for being on. It's been great to know you the last couple of years that we have, and we have a lot of fun, and it's great to have connections wherever we go. So with that, you can check out the Fandom Foundry, all things we do at thefandomfoundry.com. We have a Discord. We have a YouTube channel. We are on podcasts all around the galaxy, and we are also on the socials at the Fandom Foundry on Instagram and Blue Sky. And Dan has a question.
Don't listen to the Wizard Wire podcast. Wizard Wires, they hate the Denver Broncos, so you can just skip that podcast. They're nothing but haters. They show no respect over there. So that's one on the Fandom Foundry network you can pass on. Go ahead, Todd.
Except for me, Dan. I have not hated on Bo. I am a big fan of the Denver Broncos. I like them. I have no beef against them. I'm just very frustrated that we have too many people on that show that like the Chiefs.
See, what is with that? Yeah, how does that even happen? Your buddy, what's his name?
Sean.
And so how does Sean have a Minnesota all this stuff, and then he's just
his
a Chiefs
dad's
fan?
from Minnesota. He's from Minnesota. He has no Chiefs
I saw him
connection.
in a Wild jersey. I'm like, what is going on?
We don't know, Dan. I don't understand it. It's the bandwagon mentality. No, just kidding. I don't know. I laugh.
Well, you know what? But to be fair, what I do like about that podcast, minus the Chiefs guys, is that you and Eric keep it 100. Okay, you keep it a buck, because you guys have some franchises that have struggled. Well, Vikings more success than Jets, obviously, but never won the big one for you Vikings people, and the Jets just completely cursed since what's his face cursed them by getting him the Super Bowl win. So
Namath, yeah.
Namath there is. So
Yeah.
Anyway.
After he was drunk and told that woman he wanted to kiss her. Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do a lot of shows like Dan mentioned, the Waiver Wire podcast. We do MakerCast, which is great. Just launched an episode with Keith Mitchell, who does the Outer Haven, talking to makers that make the cool stuff we love. We have the best thing this week, which Dan will have to be coming on that show.
We got to get you back on the NerdChat.
Yeah, it'll be great. And then we do the Fandom Foundry, our Waiver Wire Wizards, which is kind of how everything started. So please check that out. We'd love everybody just to check out our stuff, share what we do, so we can do more cool stuff like this and talk to cool people like Dan all the time. So with that, Dan, thank you very much. And what do you always say?
As always, see you online.
Keep on playing.